So heading now into some more in-depth settings for you, just so you can get to know the unit better and how to use it better. So to start off today, we're going to be using the route planner. I've got a few already set up in there that I've used previously, but what we're going to be doing today is creating a new route. So I'll just select create route there. First of all, down the bottom, you'll see I can add a stop in, or I can shape the route if I want it to, or I can set up here turn-by-turn navigation, straight line navigation, or adventure navigation, which we've discussed here earlier. So first things first, what I'll do is I'll create a very simple example. So what it's done here is giving me a little prompt to say touch the map to add more stops, touch a route segment to change the route type, or to insert stops or shaping points. I'll say yes. So what it's done immediately is giving me a route, and it's taken me the fastest way there because we sent the adventure routing to level 1, which takes you the most direct way possible to get there. But you can change those to straight line or however you'd like it to be. We've currently got it set up on turn by turn. All right. So I can add another destination in there, and you'll see it's pretty damn simple to actually do. I'll say I'm going to go out here, and we'll just add a few more in. I'll say I'm going to go take the motorway down to Rochdale, for example. All right, so that's given me a bit of a route to take so far. It's a little bit out of the way, but I've put in a few different stops. I'll just say yes. So there we go, we're already set and we're ready to go. So a couple of different things you can do here is I can actually adjust the vehicle settings from here, and as I mentioned earlier, we can change our route settings from here if we wanted to. Let's say at the last moment that I wanted to change it to level 3 or level 4 and make it more unpaved roads or a little bit more off-road, I can do so from here. There I can go back. From there I can set the start and stop points. That gives me a start point and a stop point look at my entire route. So we're ready to go there. All right, and if I wanted to return, I would just hit that reset button. So I'll just save that as whatever the case may be right there. So the route's saved. Now because I've saved it, it's given me all of the details on what I need to do. It's going to be a 20-kilometre distance. It's going to take me 25 minutes. If I wanted to, I can select list, and it'll give me all of the turns that I'm actually going to take. Wilsover Road, Logan Road, etc. Logan Road, Pacific Motorway, it's all there. Other things that I can actually do from that particular point in the menu as well is if I've decided that I wanted to make or change a couple of the stops along the way, really easy to do. I can just say, oh, I'd like to go to Fairfield first. Just drag and drop it up. Simple. Piece of cake, it's already done. I'll just save it, and we already took a look at the list a moment ago. Up here you'll see on the right hand side of your screen I can select all of the different layers that I want to actually have. I can have travel history, bird's eye, contour lines, whatever the case may be. I'll just leave bird's eye view on right there. That's good enough for me. And all we do now is select go. It'll ask me to select the next destination because I'm currently technically not on the road. It's asking me where I'd like to head to my next destination from. I'll just say the closest entry point. Now what the device is doing is just quickly calculating the route for me. And you'll see here, this is the bird's eye view. We talked about the bird's eye view and downloading that in a previous video.
Please drive to highlighted route.
And we're ready to go. Simple as that. So what we've done there is actually added a pretty simple route in, but if you think of it in terms of adding quite a complicated route in and you wanted to add something in that's a little bit more complex, it's actually really easy to do so. As we saw just a moment ago, I just put a finger on the map and place my points and I'm good to go. So while this unit does have quite complicated and complex things that it can actually do, it's actually really simple to use. Now, in terms of changing the route, we mentioned earlier that you could do so while you were calculating the route, but because I've calculated it and saved it now, let's say I want to actually delete one of the places that I'm going to stop. It's actually really easy to do so. So all I do now is just go to the little pin here. It'll ask me if I want to skip the next place on the route. I'll just say, yep, I sure do.
Please drive to highlighted route.
And there you go, piece of cake. It's taken the next place off the map, which we added in earlier. So, simple. Now, in terms of what you'll see on your screen here down the bottom, I've got my speed, how long I've been moving, distance, and my arrival time. That's just what I've set up. So if you did want to change any of these settings, they're actually sitting along the bottom here. It's really quite easy to do so. I'll just select on this here. It's currently set up to moving, time moving. What I'd like to do is change it to distance to turn. So well, I've just done that now, and it's telling me I need to turn in 40 meters. Piece of cake. And if I want to choose a different data field there, let's say I want to know how hot it is right now, the temperature, piece of cake. And say I'd like to change that as well. Let's say I'd like it to be my total trip information, which I have as trip A. So really simple to use. So what I have here on the far left hand side is a little bit of a side load menu, and you can actually change all of the information that is displayed here as well. So I'll just change that to distance to destination. You'll see that's changed. Next stop arrival time. So I mean, there's plenty of information that you can have, and it's actually really simple to change any of it or all of it. Now, in terms of different screens that you can have operating, you've got tons of different things that you can actually change here. So let's say I was doing a big route, I'd change it to cities ahead if I wanted to, and you've got a ton of different things that you can do. If I push up ahead there, what that does is that shows me all of the different shops and rest areas and whatnot that are actually up ahead as well. If I want to select a little bit more into each of those, it tells me exactly how far each of those are from me. And if I want, I can select on those, and I can navigate directly to those if I want as well. Other things that you can add in, other fields, I can add in elevation. I can actually add turns in there. That'll give me all of my turn data. We mentioned earlier that you can have the turn data down the bottom here if you want, or you can have it here. So you've got tons of different options. Trip data there, that's what we mentioned earlier, which is you can access from the left hand side icon down the bottom of your screen. Another one of the features that I'm absolutely loving about this unit is the live traffic, and that's because I'm connected up to the Tread app. So what you can see here is if I go into the overview of live traffic, even though I've got not a lot showing, I'm currently on the fastest route. What you will see here though is that there is some traffic on the freeway. It's very similar to looking at Google Maps when you're talking about the way it shows you traffic on your route. So there's not really a lot different if you're familiar with using Google or any other map. Another one of the great things that I've found I've got a hell of a lot of use out of since I actually had this device is the weather side loading screen. So what it does is it basically gives you, as you can see there, there's a whole lot of rain off the coast. That's because I've got this unit set up with the Tread app that I can actually access all of this information. So I find that actually to be really handy. If I wanted to zoom and check out any of that information further, all I need to do is just select on the little weather icon, and it'll give me a bit of a zoomed in view of what I'm looking at in terms of all of the weather that's coming. And you can do that on the fly while you're driving if you like as well. So super handy to have that. I've actually used that particular feature a lot more than I thought I was going to. So it's been really fantastic and really handy to have. Another thing that might be relevant to some people, not necessarily for others, is smart notifications. I actually don't have smart notifications enabled. I was finding using the device that it was actually annoying me quite a bit, to be honest. Every time I get a notification on my phone, I'm a little bit lax with going through and disabling notifications on my phone, because I usually have my phone sitting on silent and just swipe and disable them all, so it doesn't really bother me too much. But anytime a notification comes through on your phone, it comes through on here and it beeps, which is a little bit annoying to me, so I've actually disabled that because it was a bit of a pain in the butt. Another thing that might be of help to some people and might not for some others is you can actually change the music which is playing through your phone. So you've got Bluetooth connectivity to your phone. Previously we paired the Tread Overland Edition here with my Android phone, and what you'll see here on this screen is if you've got a music playing app open on your phone, you'll actually be able to play, fast forward, whatever the case may be, any of your music which is playing currently on your phone. Alright, well, that gives you a bit of an overview of just setting up a really quick route, and I hope that's given you a bit of information on how it's actually set up in terms of route planner. It's a really handy tool, and a lot of the time people don't use tools like this because they think they're a little bit too complex. But as we've seen in this video, it's actually really easy to set up. You'll see here it was quite simple to do. All you needed to do is just select different destinations on the screen and you could navigate really easily. So it's a tool that's really handy and something I use quite often. All right, well, that's it for us for this week in terms of looking at the different features that the Garmin Tread Overland Edition has in store for you. We're going to be catching up again in another few weeks and taking a look at some different features of the Tread Overland and giving you a little bit more of a look at how the unit is actually used and giving you some helpful hints on how to use it. Thanks for watching, and once again, we'll see you next time we get 4 wheels on the road.